Before going under contract and buying your new home in this competitive real estate market, guys, take a look at this video because I'm going to go over the 5 common misconceptions about this competitive real estate market that we're in 2021, quarter number 2. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of More About Mortgages. I appreciate you joining me and I appreciate any subscriptions that you guys have made to my page. If you can please share my page, More About Mortgages on YouTube with your friends, family, and colleagues and have them subscribe, I'll greatly appreciate that as well. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about 5 common misconceptions in today's super competitive real estate market. For all you home buyers or sellers out there, there's a lot of myths that are going around and circulating amongst the real estate industry that you may or may not have heard about that it's going to be important you know the truth on. And today, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, is sharing the truth with you. So with that being said, guys, let's dive right into it. Myth number 1 is it's better to be pre-approved after finding the house that you love. This is without a doubt a myth, guys, because you always want to start the home buying process by getting yourself a pre-approval and speaking to a loan officer and lender. Because this way, you'll know what purchase price you're comfortable with, what type of monthly payment will be associated with that purchase price, and how much money it'll cost you on estimate out of pocket at closing. So therefore, checking out any properties ahead of time before having that pre-approval, guys, you don't know what your monthly payment would look like, what the estimated cost to close will look like, you know, how much you'll need as a budget, and you don't even know if you'll qualify for that property. So you could just be wasting your time. So that is absolutely 100% a myth. You always want to get pre-approved prior to house hunting. You never want to find your new home before getting that letter. Because if you do, ultimately, you might want to make an offer. You probably will. You won't have a pre-approval letter and you won't be able to make an offer. You'll lose that house because in this market, these houses are going under contract like that. By the time you have your pre-approval in hand, that house will already be gone. So guys, moving on, myth number 2, always start with your lowest offer when making a bid on a home. This speaks for itself, guys. You never want to start with your lowest offer in this market right now because it's never going to get looked at. It's going to get pushed to the back of the pile. And this is a good one, guys, because in a traditional market, home buyers do want to start with their lowest offer because you never want to go in at your highest and best offer right away. Then you don't know if you could have won that house for a lower value or a lower price. But in this market, in this day and age, in quarter number 2 of 2021, we're in a completely different market right now, guys. And you need to submit your first offer being your best and highest offer because it'll just get slid to the back of the pile if not. And even with your highest and best, there's so much competition out there that there will likely be 3 to 5 more offers that are very similar characteristics as yours. So it's important to put in an additional letter to the sellers in there, maybe a video of you and your family, anything to provide some additional leverage. But you definitely want to go in with your highest and best offer right from the gates, right out of the gates, because in this market, you absolutely need to go in with your best. Myth number 3, guys, it's better to price your house on the high side when selling in this competitive market that we're in right now. As a seller in this market, if you're selling a house that doesn't need a tremendous amount of work or a rehab loan in order for the buyer to wind up getting that house, you're going to have so much action and so much interest in that property, guys, that you don't even need to sell it on the high side or start it on the high side. Start it on the median side, somewhere in the average, whatever your real estate agent suggests, because ultimately they're going to be the professionals that are going to be able to steer you in the right direction on this front. But I have a lot of experience with this, guys, and I work with countless agents here across New England, and I speak with them on a daily basis, and it's almost universal through all of them that when selling a client's house, they want to list it, you know, not at the highest possible peak that property wants to go, the seller wants it to go for in this market, but somewhere comfortable that they'll attract a lot of attention, and then that attention will grow into a bidding war and drive up the value of that house and the sales price of that house. You start it too high, all those people that will eventually get into a bidding war to push up that sales price, they won't even make a bid on it because they won't be able to qualify for it because of that high purchase price. So attract more interest in your property by starting with a more comfortable sales price. It'll build its way up. Myth, start out by listing your house as high as you want it to go, you know, at its peak. Definitely a myth, guys. Myth number 4, renovating your house will ultimately net you more profit when selling in this competitive market. Guys, I got to tell you, that is absolutely 100% untrue. Depending on what the work is that your property needs, and again, your real estate agent will be able to professionally guide you more on this home front with your particular situation. However, it's not necessarily going to net you a tremendous amount of more money in this market right now. Maybe it might not even net you more money at all. In fact, it may negate your total bottom line at the end of the day, because you're going to pay money to put in that work on that property and then sell it, for what will ultimately be around the same value you would have gotten out of it anyway had you not done that work, and you're just paying money out of your own pocket to do it. So depending on what the work that needs to be done is, I would suggest speaking to your real estate agent about it, but it's definitely a myth to make that statement with complete confidence and certainty that repairing or making renovations on your house will net you more profit in this market, because it's not true. You could sell your house as is, and it might go for even more than it would have gone if you put the work into it and put it on the market 2 weeks later. It just depends, and it's all about timing. In this market, you're going to attract a lot of interest regardless. So just get that property up on the market and get it live, and you'll see what I'm talking about within a day. All right, so the last and final myth here, myth number 5, is a tricky one, because myth number 5 actually holds some weight in a traditional market. In this market, in quarter 2 of 2021, it does not hold weight, because myth number 5 is it's safe to skip the home inspection if the house looks good. In this market right now, almost every home buyer is waiving the home inspection when making an offer. They have to, because if they don't, another offer is going to get accepted and theirs is going to get pushed to the back of the pile, because the seller is going to say, hey, if I can accept this offer where the buyer's not getting a home inspection, I'm going to, instead of over this offer that's equal value or equal offer price, but they want a home inspection. Home inspection is going to kick up, whatever the property might need as far as, structure work, repairs, renovations, electrical, whatever work the house may need, the inspection is going to reveal. And that seller is going to be weary to have the buyer get an inspection, because they don't want anything to pop up. I've had multiple contracts come in lately where the buyer still did a home inspection, but in the contract in the purchase and sales itself was written, buyer will do inspection for informational purposes only or curiosity purposes only, and will not ask for any work to be done. That is a great idea, and I suggest highly doing that if you can, guys, or even waiving the inspection, having an inspector go in and kind of do it on his own time, just for your own peace of mind. You're making a purchase of a couple $100,000, if not more than that, because of values being inflated right now. You want to make sure you're not buying a property that's going to fall apart in a year or two, guys. You know what I mean? You're making a large purchase here, and it's a substantial amount of money that you need to contact a lender and actually take out a loan for, and get into a loan that you now need to repay every month with these steep monthly payments. You're going to want to make sure that that house is going to hold true and stand firm and not fall apart. So I would say that it's a myth to waive the home inspection. Ultimately, it's happening all the time in this industry right now, guys, and everybody is waiving their home inspections right now. But it's never a good idea, I would say. Personally, that's my humble opinion. Is it safe to skip the home inspection? Sure. But are you doing yourself your due diligence and serving yourself, the best way possible? Probably not. So guys, thank you for joining me for another episode here of More About Mortgages. These are 5 common misconceptions about the hyper-competitive real estate market that we're in right now in 2021. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me or comment below. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and please have any friends and family subscribe as well, guys. I appreciate you and your time, and everybody have a wonderful rest of your week.